There are so many different types of safety knives, work knives, etc. It's mind-blowing. In this video, we're going to break down the groups of safety knives and how to pick the right one for your business. And we're going right now. What's up, people? Welcome back to Rebranding Safety. Rebranding Safety is exactly what it says on the tin. We're here to challenge the perception, to challenge the overtype poor quality practices, to help you do what you need to do, save lives and save money. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss another episode. Let's get into today's video. Today we're talking all about safety knives. These things. There's so many. Flick knives, prison shanks, Stanley knives, weird bespoke ones. Like, which ones do we use? There's so many of them. We're going to work out in today's video. First things first, we need to try and remove the need for the knives. Remember when we did that risk assessment video? If you haven't seen that, you go back and watch it. Basically what we need to do first is risk assess and try to eliminate the need to cut something. So can the machine cut it for us? Can the people providing the material cut it for us, etc.? Long and short of it is 9 times out of 10 it's not cost effective to do, and it might be easier or nigh impossible to remove it, so we have to do that. If we can do that, safety knives is probably the next best step. There are an unbelievable amount of safety knives, and here's just some that I've collected over the years. Now I don't have all of the groups. We'll go into break down the groups and I'll explain them, and here are just some examples. Excuse the racket. So group 1 includes bladeless cutters. So there's no blade in it whatsoever. Now you'll be like, well, how can we have that? Well, here's a slight version of group 1. Ignore, don't know if you can see. If you can see here, you've got the 2 blades on the top, right? Ignore that. Pretend that's not there. You can see this wee bit here. It's like a little metal, it's not a blade, it's just like a little nub, you know, like Chandler from Friends got a little nub in. It's kind of like that. It's just this little bump on there. It's fixed molded in there, and that just kind of would be, except that would be able to cut sellotape, you know, open boxes. Kind of perfect for this kind of thing. You can get ones that are just that, like literally just that bit there. So you've only got that bit on the top. That's essentially group 1. Yeah, so you've got no blade. It is so remote that you'll be able to cut yourself on this, that basically it's just a piece of plastic that's kind of sharp enough to pierce or cut something, but not sharp enough to cut you. That's essentially group 1. Quite closely related to that is group 2, which these are. Now I'm not endorsed by these companies whatsoever. These are just ones I've picked up over the years, but these are basically like the blade is concealed. Like if you look, I'm trying to put my finger on that blade and I can't get in there. This is just one example of these. So this would basically, if I get a piece of paper, I'll show you how they work. Now this is probably going to go horribly wrong, but essentially you would kind of hook over there and then it cuts like that. Now obviously it will probably be a bit easier than you just doing it with one hand, but you can see as it hooked, it followed the blade down like that, and that's how it does it. It cuts and it through the piece that you're trying to cut going in there. So that's how that works. Get rid of this mess. Very similar to that is this other one from the same company. This is called the Fish brand. I can't remember what the one this is called. Same company, P1000 and the Fish 2000. This one's got a concealed kind of hook on it, so this would probably cut some small rope, some small string. Quite good for cutting sellotape, I found, but over the time these would get like clogged up, so you do have to clean them. This one kind of comes in and out like so. So you would just kind of hook it out and then push it up, and then if you can see that, there we go, push that up and then let go, and it comes down. So yeah, that comes up and out. And then this one's exactly the same process as the other one. You would just hook the piece in there and go down and it will cut. So these are quite good. If I'm honest, warehouse, these fit quite nicely in warehouse environments. I really don't think any other kind of knife is needed. I suppose it depends on your product, but you know, these are a good starting point, these types of ones. So they're probably group 2. Group 3 is fully automatic retractable blades. So I don't have a group 3, but I'll just give you an example. Essentially, you've got your normal kind of Stanley blade or something like that. And it's kind of like, these are sometimes called intelligent knives. And basically what it means is once you've done the cut, the blade retracts automatically, regardless of whether you're holding your thumb on it or you've locked it open. As soon as it feels the pressure is gone, it retracts. Quite smart, hence why they're called intelligent blades. That's group 3. Group 4 is this type of blade. Again, I'm not endorsing these companies whatsoever. I don't even know what this company is. But these are spring-loaded knives. So you can see that I'm pushing that up with my thumb. You see that? There we go. Pushing out with my thumb, let go, pop down, up, down, up, down. So it relies on me to a point that I have to push it up and then let go and it comes down. But the point is that you don't put it in your pocket and then the knife's out, providing you maintain it quite well. And normally quite weak springs. I suppose the more you pay, the better you get. It removes the risk of me leaving the blade out and forgetting about it, putting it in my pocket, cutting my leg, picking it up off the table and the blade's still out. These Stanley blades are expensive. They are quite expensive, but they are sharp is what I meant to say. The next one, group 5, is your manually operated blade. So like this, if you can see, you push it down and push it out and then bring it back ourselves. So the inherent problem here is that I forget to put this blade away. It won't do it itself, and go and put it in my pocket, stab myself in the leg, pick it up off the table, forget it's open. You could understand the problem with these. So the inherent problem with these types of Stanley blade ones that are manually operational is that it requires me to bring it back in. It requires humans, whereas the spring one doesn't. These ones don't even, it's not even a concern. Now, I came across a very intelligent set of knives back in the day. This essentially is your group 5, but this knife came with a holster, and that holster, when you put it away, automatically retracted the blade for you. And this has got different levels of cut in it, so you could only open the blade a certain amount. And then what that would do means that the knife only came out a little bit like so, and that would be used for top cut. And then you could bring it down to here for tray cut. And you've got the guard there. I understand the focus is not really working very well, but you got that and there. So then you've got this kind of guard on the top, which itself acts very similar to the nub bit on here as a kind of tape cut. It's even got tape cut on there. It's got your thumb guard. So these are very intelligent knives. It's a very good system. If I remember rightly, they cost a fair bit. These ones did. They come with that holster, obviously, for you to put the knife away, and it automatically attracts you. So if you really want that kind of old school Stanley feel, that you put it out and you kind of have it locked out, then maybe these are the ways to go. If I'm brutally honest, it depends on your industry. It depends on your work. If you can imagine, if you were, say, a carpetier, do you call them carpetiers? The people that change your carpets. If you were to give them this, it wouldn't work. It's not sharp enough to cut the carpet. They're not got enough leverage on it to get under the carpet. It just wouldn't work. So you're probably going to give them a normal group 5 Stanley blade with a carpet blade on it. You know, so it's suitable for their work. If you give them this or try to force them to use this, they're just going to buy this anyway. So it's better for you to give them what's suitable for their work, so they don't go and buy their own crap. What's most important with all of these is that exact thing there, that they are suitable for the work. Think about how quick people are going to use them. Are people going to get frustrated with them? These worked quite well because the holster was a quick way to whip the knife out like your John Wayne, kapow. But also when you put it away, it kind of shut the blade out. So in that quick, fast-paced environment, these work really well. If you're going from something like this, moving over to something like this, do it slowly. involve your workers, acknowledge there will be a transition period, there will be resistance. You know, they'll feel like they're being treated like children, and that's on you to work on your culture, etc. The initial reaction is, why can't I use a blade? Now, that's probably where you need to start. Why do you want to go to these kind of knives? Is it just because you got your new job of health and safety? You need to have some kind of data to back yourself up. You need to have some kind of incident record to back yourself up. Do you have a problem, or have you seen loads of near misses, etc.? So to work the case first, then pick your knives. So go and pick your knives, your group 2s, your group 1s, your group 5s, etc. And then involve your workforce. Get loads of samples, send them out, swap them around, get people to work with them, tell them how you feel, what was nice, try and get them to be honest, try to pick people that are a pain in the ass and like to complain, and pick people that don't like to complain. Mix it up, get a real diverse set of opinions in your business, and that's going to provide you with a good set of results, and then you'll get to a point where you've got the right knife for your business. I would just like to show you one last knife, which I don't think should be in any workplace other than a kitchen. This is what I like to call the prison shank. This was from a warehouse environment. Completely unnecessary. But yet people were so emotionally attached to these that it was very difficult for me to remove them from a workplace. They don't actually start off with such a nasty point on them. Just over the years, or they sharpen them on this leather belt, they ended up like this. And this is what I call a steak knife or a prison shank. There is not many work environments that require this type of knife. Not even a grouping for this in the HSE guidance. Now, the HSE guidance that I took all the groups from, I'm going to link it in the description for you down below. So just to kind of reiterate, group 1/2 is these types of blades with you're basically nigh on impossible for you to cut yourself. Then you're going to move up to your group 5s, where you've got the manual operation of the blade coming in and out. You can get some bespoke ones, and then you've got your kind of spring loaded at your group 4. Yep, group 4. So that's just an overview. Remember, you want to start from the point of removing the knives. My top tips: involve your workers, get some trials going first, you know, get a diverse set of opinions, and that's the best way you're going to make this work. Other things to consider then: maintenance of the blades. These blades are going to get tired, they're going to get old, the more you use them, they're going to need changing. So you're going to need storage facilities to kind of store the blades. You're going to have to train people on how to change those knives. And when I say training, I don't mean this real long in-depth process. I just mean how to change the blade. It could be done on a shadowing process, etc. Simple things of how to cut sound really, really stupid, but actually teaching somebody how to cut might be the thing that stops you from getting all your injuries. With these types of knives as well, like I said earlier, you've got to teach people how to use these. You can't just assume people know. You know, I've seen a lot of people just use this top hook bit here, when actually that's just meant for rope, because they just don't understand how to use this. When I got this out to show the wife, when we were talking about doing this video, she didn't know how to use it. If you don't know how to use this stuff, it's not going to work. So training on these knives is really important. Think about the product you're cutting. So like we just said here, this one's for rope and this bit's for everything else. Think about the products you're cutting. Is that going to take a real toll on the blades, on the knives? You think about carpets, that's a real tough thing to cut. You need specialist blades. You need a high stock of knives as well in the van as they're going round. They're going to start taking a toll on the blades, on the knives, etc. Think about the ergonomics of the blade. If you look at these ones, this one is just a straight up knife, yeah, not very ergonomic. When we go to this one, we've got the rubber handle. You can see here, if I show you this way, you can see that it wraps quite nicely, and then you've got on the top here a little thumb placement there for me to get that leverage on the cut. Again, with this one, you've got the curved shape, kind of fits my hand quite nicely. You've got this little ridged bit here that helps me get that kind of leverage on the cut. So think of the ergonomics of the knife as well. And finally, I think you should do a bit of work around pre-use checks. Now this sounds real stupid, right? And when I say do some work around pre-use checks, I don't mean implement a check sheet. I mean work hard in your business to get it as a habit of, when I pick up this knife, boom, picked it up. I'll just have a quick look at it. Yeah, looks good, go to work. That's it. Get to the point. This one, for example, it comes out nice and smoothly. The blade looks okay, but when I put it in my holster, the blade doesn't go away because it's broke. Things like that. Just checking it's functional. There's nothing worse than having a piece of equipment that doesn't work. The one thing worse than not having service is having poor service. Think about it. When you've got internet, you pay for your internet's real slow. It's nothing more frustrating. It's the same thing as if you give your members of staff pieces of equipment that doesn't work. If you don't tell them how to check the piece of equipment to make sure it does work. If it doesn't work, they're gonna find ways around it. The environment defines the behaviors. So that's probably the last point for me to have. Think about the groups, think about how you're implementing this stuff in the workplace, work on some trials, involve your staff, think about the product you're cutting. Does the knife fit for that task? You might have to have multiple knives for different tasks, and that's fine, but think about it. Think about this, for example. It's a great example. This was meant for one specific task in a specific area of a specific group in the warehouse. However, everybody had them. They were everywhere. They were lying around. They were in people's pockets. Just crazy. So your culture is a massive part of it. I hope this has helped, guys. I hope this has helped you kind of work out what knife's right for you. There's so many out there. I 100% advise going to approaching these companies that provide safety knives, talking to them, because they'll be able to find the right knife for you. But more importantly, ask for samples, ask for trials. They probably won't charge you, but if they do, it won't be a lot. Just say, can I have a sample of these 5 knives? And just get them. They're most probably going to say yes. Get them, give them to your staff, say off you go, work with them, and I don't know, give them some kind of score sheet or something, or have a meeting and say, what did we think? And then record that. Okay guys, I hope you found that video useful. Now you know which knife to use for your business. There's so many, isn't there? So hopefully that's helped you. Hopefully that's helped you kind of work out how to work out which knife you need, how to kind of try and avoid the need for them as well. I think that's an important thing for us to focus on. Let me know in the comments below which knife you're using at work. Is it your prison shank? Is it your Stanley? Is it your safety blades, etc, etc? And let me know ones that you've struggled with in the past as well, or what kind of schemes you come up with. I'll be really interested to know. Come and connect with us on social media, Twitter, Rebranded Safety. Come find me on LinkedIn, James MacPherson, or join us on Facebook as Rebranded Safety. If you like this video, give us a like. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't already, and the bell so you never miss another episode. Go check out our podcast, linked in the description. But if you want to, you can just search Rebranded Safety Podcast. It's on all the major platforms. Come find us, listen to us on your dog walks, on your drive to work. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Safe.